City blocks in this country, and you see a neighborhood transformed by violence into something like a war zone. Look more closely, and you may see a memorial for a young life cut short. Look at the spray-painted brickwork, and you'll see the walls transformed. It's a grim sort of art, and a controversial one as well. What one person sees as part of the healing, another will see as part of the problem. Anthony Mason takes us on a tour.
As teenagers, they used to attack subway cars with their spray cans.
See, from the moon, be like this, and we go up, down.
But Bio, BG, and Nicer are graffiti artists now.
So we could do a small one, we could do it on the side.
They call themselves the TATS crew, and they're at work on a commission for the family of a teenage shooting victim. From a derelict wall, they've created a memorial to a 19-year-old named Cole.
He was from this neighborhood, so we decided to use this landscape here, you know, the scenery that we had around us. You know, these trees represent the trees here in the park. The buildings are the buildings across the street.
They go to work by streetlight in the Bronx, past midnight when the hot streets have cooled and quieted. In recent years, America's urban landscapes have been decorated with hundreds of these memorials, an outdoor graffiti exhibition honoring the inner city's dead.
I mean, it's been around for at least a decade, but it took off around 1988 in direct relationship to the escalation of violence and drug deals that were plaguing New York City and other cities across the country.
Urban folklorist Joseph Sciorra began documenting the murals with the help of photographer Martha Cooper for a book they titled R.I.P. They are bursts of color and grief, elegies to neighbors and friends, gang members, even cops. This young man died in a plane crash. All are executed in the inner city's indigenous art form, spray paint, graffiti.
But if you look at artists like the TAT crew, Bio, Nicer, and BG in the Bronx, these guys are coming up with a whole series of walls that each one different from the other. And to look at them and not sort of say that this is art and this is not high quality art is to simply be blind.
You got to understand that this is all done with spray can. This is not airbrush. None of this is paintbrush. This is all done with a regular spray can, which most people have found that if you try to paint lawn furniture or whatever, you don't have the control. It looks simple, but it's, you know, this is 15 years of practice.
That practice, much of it, came on the subway cars of New York. The TAT crew members got their start sneaking into the rail yards late at night.
But when you painted the subway car, and the car took off from the yard,
you would wait days on the station.
I know somebody will call you up on the phone.
Telling you they have the
they sold
picture.
the car, it should be coming like the next hour. Because what happened is...
So you'd go out to the platform and you'd wait to see your car?
Yeah, sometimes you wait a week
But you have to,
before you see it
sometimes,
again.
it depends. Sometimes you don't know if the platform you at, you're on the uptown, the downtown side. It depends what the train
Yeah, you can wait
at.
all day, and it'll come with your drawing on the wrong side. So then you'd have to wait for the train to go all the way to Manhattan and come back reverse.
Take the picture.
It's crazy. It got crazy.
So wait, was this the thrill, was waiting for your car?
No, the thrill wasn't waiting. Actually waiting and to see it, that's the thrill, when you actually got to see it and everyone else is seeing it. But I mean, the waiting part wasn't the thrill.
So when you knew your car was coming, would you call your friends and say, come up to the platform and see my car?
They wouldn't call anybody for that. I mean, they would call you just to let you know it's coming back so you could get your picture.
So this was, seeing the car come by was a solitary experience. It was like you and your car.
That's it. You get to see it and you see it wait once and that was it. And you're off to your next project.
Right there by Lincoln Hospital.
For Bio, BG, and Nicer, memorial art has become a full-time job. They can make as much as $3,000 for a mural, Bio still remembers his first commission.
The guy came up to me and said, yo, man, do something for my brother, because I knew his brother, you know, we grew up together, and he said, do something for my brother. So we did like a heart, we did his brother's name, and then we just did like the date of his death and the date when he was born, and that was just it.
Bio says the crew's work has never been vandalized or defaced. But in Camden, New Jersey, murals get less respect. Jesuit Father Rick Malloy believes graffiti glorifies the problem. When he sees a mural, he paints it out.
And we take the murals down because they're signs of shame. They're signs that we have abandoned our young people. This is not a cemetery. This is a living neighborhood, and we honor our dead in sacred locales. This is a living neighborhood, and we want our children to see messages of hope and life and not messages of death.
A number of artists, Tracy in the Bronx and Chico in the Lower East Side, have said that they're not interested in doing memorial walls anymore because it perpetuates a certain culture of violence and death that they feel is detrimental to the community, in particular to the young people of that community.
But Sciorra himself disagrees.
The walls actually serve as a center where people can reclaim the streets, and which is what they often do. They will get together as a community, raise the funds, and then gather at that site on the anniversary, on the birthday of the deceased, and that the wall becomes a vehicle for people to work out their grief collectively.
White Boy's brother, Gregory, helped pay for this memorial.
I keep them memory, because we used to like them a lot, so we just do it for them, because that's what they want. Like, if I ever die, I'll be right next to him. They do it all over with me there and him here.
It is art commissioned by families and neighbors and created by local artists in their own spray can style. And for some battered neighborhoods, it is a message that after a short life on blighted streets, there is at last some respect to be had on a wall.